rule of law states, no one shall be the judge of his own actions. No one shall stand judge against his own actions. No one shall stand judge against his own actions. Recently, we had a controversy in Supreme Court. Recently means 4 or 5 years back. When Ranjan Gogoi was the former Chief Justice, he occupied the office. Immediately there was sexual allegations against the Chief Justice. His own staff, she leveled charges against the Chief Justice. Right? Charges are against Ranjan Gogoi. If he sits in judgment, does it mean rule of law? But he sat in judgment. He sat in judgment and said, I am not guilty. Is it rule of law? Why? Because you are the accused. If the accused occupies the seat of judgment, then where is rule of law? So accused cannot occupy the seat of judgment. So no one shall stand judge against his own actions. So when there was public outcry, he constituted a house committee, 3-member house committee. First he sat in judgment. Then people started talking, this is not fair. Then he constituted a 3-member house committee. But who constituted it? He himself. And the 3-member house committee said he is not guilty. And summarily the woman was removed from service. But as soon as he demitted his office, she was reinducted. Then who is wrong? As soon as he left the office, she was reinstated. Then who is wrong? So this is where the difference between rule by men and rule of law. If men occupy critical positions, then it becomes rule by men instead of rule of law. So rule of law should guarantee and identify the procedures. Accordingly, the modern constitutions maintain a separation between lawmaking, law implementation, and law interpretation. So no one shall be in charge of all three. No one shall be in charge of all three: lawmaking, law implementation, and law interpretation. So all modern governments are identified specifically with this functional specialization. So each organ having a specialized role. So we have a legislature, modern legislature, to make law. We have the modern executive to implement the law. So legislature means our parliament. Legislature means our state legislature, legislative assembly or legislative council. Executive means the prime minister and the council of ministers. And at the state level, the chief minister and the council of ministers. So law is made by legislature and law is implemented by executive. So there is a functional separation. Specialization and separation. Got it? And the third organ is judiciary. So judiciary has to remain independent of the other two. So judiciary keeps a check whether the law that is enacted fits within the objectives of the Constitution. Whether the law that is enacted satisfies rule of law. That is the duty of judiciary. So judiciary has to be independent and examine whether the law enacted satisfies the objectives identified in the Constitution. So interpretation. interpretation of the law is with judiciary. So this separation is essential. In the absence of separation, it will not be rule of law. It would be rule by men. If it is rule by men, it is arbitrary. If it is rule of law, it is not arbitrary, because it has a definite procedure. Right? So the Constitution does not tell